Yeah, this ain't nothing new that's being reported. It's just this whole situation is happening during the Olympics. So it's getting put on a wide scale, but it was already being done in the trials. And a couple of days ago, I already knew about this situation. I knew about this already a couple of days ago. But sitting here thinking about it now, because I was going to make a video about Claressa Shields, being probably the best female athlete ever. But now this situation just makes you really think about other things. And it's a reason why she's not getting celebrated the way she was because, well, she should be the way she should be. I'll take that back. Because from what I'm seeing in this situation, this is the Olympics is doing this to kind of combat something. They're trying to compete with something. Like, why change something that's not broken? So this is trying to combat something, and I feel like Claressa Shields could be a reason why they're trying to add this into the mix because they didn't think about this before 2012, 2016 when she was winning gold medals. They weren't never thinking about this. She probably had, even though she got a lot of publicity and everything from winning the 2 gold medals and was able to headline a main card, which she did recently again, and blew it out the water. But for these people to even be in the mix after she's went pro and everything else right after, and she's still active right now, and we're starting to do this. You know what I've heard lately though? We'll never forget the beating that person took though. So I haven't heard anybody said that about this situation, about these females going out there taking a beating. Nobody's laughing about that or saying that they'll never forget. It's pretty serious right now. For them have to compete against stuff like this, yeah, it's not good for boxing. Boxing been going backwards for a while now, though. It really has. We try to overlook a couple of things, but a lot of this stuff is bad. The sport is not going to be able to move forward with the way they're doing things. It's just not. They won't be able to move forward. They're adding this into the Olympics now. Terrible. People not really mentioning it right now. That's kind of the weird part. But um, a lot of people knew about this already. They didn't just watch until then wait until the Olympics started and say, "Oh man, they got men competing against women." They've been knew this going on. But my thing is the timeline is kind of weird. They did this right after Claressa Shields wins 2 gold medals. Then all of a sudden, Yeah, let's start to add men into the mix to compete. And if you look at the matches they had, they can't even complete the matches. They can't even compete or at all. The women can't throw 5 punches with these transgenders they got in boxing right now. Have you seen the matches? 5 punches, the match over with. They can't even take the punches. So for them to even have these matches going on, wow. Am I gonna see the same energy? I just seen a girl from Mexico having to fight one of these guys. Is is anybody gonna complain about that? The way they have about other things about some like beat samples and everything? Cause this was a Mexican female that was from Mexico that had to fight one of these people. That's how I found out about it. I found out the girl from Mexico was fighting a transgender a couple of days ago. And I didn't hear nobody using this energy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it's to go against an American, it's cool. But when it's going against a transgender or whatever, fighting in boxing, nobody cares. That's how bad it is right now in boxing. That's how bad it is. A lot of people say we just won't watch it. That's not going to change anything. Like, for you to lay down and be a and to just let people walk all over you, that's not going to make the world better. Like, a lot of people sit up here, well, we're just not going to watch it then. Yeah, I'm not watching it either, but at the same time, it's for a different reason. What's going on, Angry Mexican? Bro, I seen that Mexican girl fighting the transgender boxer from Algeria. Bro, that girl couldn't take 5 punches from her or from him. Couldn't take 5 punches. She turned around like, bro, what's going on? Like, you can see when the punches when she took them. Like, bro, ain't no girl supposed to be in there with no transgender. Oh yeah, I've been good, man. Just had to just had to step back for a minute. Yeah, I've been good. You been all right, man? Yeah, me either. I haven't either. I haven't either. That's crazy. Crazy, bro. But you know what's even crazier about that? People out here voting for that stuff, so they arguing about voting for it. The same people complaining about it, like, oh, I can't believe they put men in there. You arguing about voting about all that stuff. I'm not political. I'm just saying you can't sit up here and vote for it, then complain about it. That's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work. Cause that's definitely what's going on. You voting specifically for that. So the jokes write themselves at times. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. A lot of people don't go in on Ruiz like that. To be honest with you, Andrew Ruiz, he don't get too much fat bashing. They have a couple of jokes here and there, but he's gotten skinnier over the years. He still be eating like crap though. I seen him eating that hot dog from the hot dog stand or whatever. Yeah, it might be. When Triple G says it might be a wrap for Olympic boxing, it's a, it's almost that time. Yeah, Olympic boxing is done. They're trying to save it. That's what Triple G said recently. Trying to save it, but a lot of these people got agendas, and Yeah, Tank over there just watching. Yeah, he likes sports, so he definitely gonna watch. He probably always wanted to watch the Olympics, so uh, uh, I seen some before I came on here. That's funny. Yeah, they gotta chill. He gets skinnier, man. It might not look like it, but he gets skinny. The real is funny. That's hilarious, boy. Yeah, you too funny. Yeah, Bomac. Yeah, Bomac on it though. He got a lot of guys he training right now. Yeah, they got to chill with the jokes though. Yeah, but it's crazy, man. They doing this in boxing right now. I'm gonna do another topic in a minute, but I just wanted to go live about this one. I'm gonna do another live and like after I'm done with this one, but because I ain't been covering too many topics lately. But yeah, this is crazy, bro. When I seen this girl getting punched, I'm like, hold on, man, this is crazy. Why do they have this even in boxing for the Olympics? Even though a lot of people don't pay attention to the Olympics, this is why. Um, that guy Edwards, he's too good for the Olympics, so he needs to just go pro. I'm surprised, man. Shoot, at this point, I'm surprised Claressa Shields even got 2 gold medals. The way they out here robbing people and yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I'm trying to think of what fight where somebody was getting hit on their feet. You remember when Usyk was catching Tyson Fury in the corner and Tyson Fury almost went to the ground? Um, it was almost like that, but that was like the first 5 punches though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the first 5 punches look. And the girl just turned around and walked away. I'm like, whoa. She just landed the punches on her like that. It's bad, man. To be honest with you, I think it's to actually compete with Claressa Shields, though. If I'm gonna be honest about it, I think they're actually doing this to compete with girls like Claressa Shields or Savannah Marshall, whoever it is. I don't know if these other countries got fed up. Because to be honest with you, you gotta think about it. If Taiwan's doing this, I haven't heard about them having very good female fighters, and Algeria's doing this. Haven't heard about them having good female fighters, so they using this to kind of get over on people right now, especially in the Olympics. Yeah, it's bad though. The girl from Mexico, she just walked away and turned around. Nobody from Mexico finna sit around and just get hit 5 times and quit at the Olympics. But when she gets hit, you can kind of tell from the impact that, oh no, this is not no regular punches. This is punches from a man. You can tell she's fighting a man in there. So this is pretty serious. Because if anybody has a daughter, you're not gonna want your daughter out there fighting a man, especially if she wants to box or. So this is pretty serious. We do not want to have females out here competing against men just because guys ain't good enough to get it done in their sport. That's all it's about. These guys can't get it done in the men's department, boxing, so they want to try to go over and like this is going to a whole nother direction now. This has nothing to do with boxing. It's too political. A lot of the countries that support this expose themselves to even doing this. Like just imagine if the United States had a transgender boxer right now and they said, hey, this is the best boxer we got right now available. Ain't no girls out here good enough. That'd be terrible. And that's what's going on in some of these countries. But those countries that ain't got no backbone, you ain't got no respect for yourself. You going out like that. But it's kind of sad though. But the fact that Claressa Shields doing this, this is happening 8 years after she got 2 gold medals? Come on, man. Like, what are we doing this for real? I haven't heard anybody saying, "Hey man, let's let these females try out for male Olympics for male boxing." It's not gonna happen. They're trying to use it as whatever it is, the rights or whatever they try to do politically, but it's really to try to just get an extra medal and compete with other women who's on another level. It's only like 10 women that's really on the elite level. Everybody else is average. So they're trying to get those elite people basically destroyed by transgenders from Algeria and Taiwan. It's not gonna work. And what's funny is people sit up here and say, "Man, I can't believe Claressa Shields said she wants to fight a man." And then when this goes on, nobody says anything. These dudes is cowards. They just don't like Claressa Shields. Period. Period. A lot of these guys don't like Claressa Shields. They liars. They don't like the truth. They don't like me. They don't like what I look like. They don't like the people who look like me. They don't like the country I come from. But they want to be in my shoes. They want to get tanned. They want to be in the country I'm from. They want to be in the same address I'm at, same zip code. These people are jealous and they're haters. That's all there is to it. No disrespect. It's just the truth. These people are jealous out here, man. This girl said, "Yeah, man, I'll fight a man." I mean, if you know how she wired, obviously I don't agree with that. But if you know how she wired, that's what she's been doing. That's why she got good the way she was. I mean, obviously no females was sitting around boxing in her neighborhood. So who else would you be boxing growing up? Duh. But these guys, but when people like Ronda Rousey say stuff like this, people like, "Yeah, man, Ronda Rousey." I remember all uh these Joe Rogan podcast type fans. No disrespect, but I'm just being real. Like all the guys who watch like Joe Rogan and stuff like that, they was running around talking about, "Yeah, man, Floyd Mayweather get beat down by Ronda Rousey." If I'm joking, just Google it. People actually spent millions of dollars reporting this kind of news. This was on magazines. This was on headline news. Ronda Rousey was could beat Floyd Mayweather. They didn't just say an average boxer, not Shane Mosley or not saying Shane Mosley was average. I'm saying just like not I'm saying like a regular boxer. They're not just saying somebody average. Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey. Come on, man. Yeah, I know. That's why he's so good. The amateurs. See, people don't. That's a good point too. People act like the amateurs don't matter too. Man, the amateurs don't matter. Get out of here. You're casual. Now that's a casual. Somebody who says that is a casual. I'm just being real. You never heard any boxer sit up here and say the amateurs don't matter. What's the first thing they say when they see somebody? "Oh, I fought him in the amateurs." Man, these dudes, people who say the amateurs don't matter, they tripping. Usyk proved that wrong too, because Usyk fought everybody too. I think Usyk got a better resume than Bitterfield do. Usyk fought everybody. I'm talking about everybody. I remember like 10 years ago, I was hearing about him fighting Sean Porter. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. And that's a great point we going to. That's why a fighter like Claressa Shields or something is good because she got an extended amateur background. A lot of these guys don't got no amateur background these days. They turning pro before they even get decent in the amateurs. That's why Lomachenko stayed in the amateurs until he got good enough to where he felt like he can go professional. It might have been longer than the average person, but hey, you gotta do that sometimes. But a lot of people don't want to stay in the amateurs long. Everybody can't just leave and just go pro immediately. Only people like Tank and certain guys can do that. But yeah, the amateurs definitely matter these days. If we don't have no amateurs, like as far as with the Olympics and stuff, boxing's not it's not gonna be as good as it used to be. The quality gonna go down. Can't train everybody in the garage, man. Everybody has to go around the world and fight different kind of people. God just fighting domestically ain't gonna make the sport better. Just to be honest with you. Yeah, that guy, what's that guy name? That guy who Shakur Stevenson just fought, who everybody thinks a bum. He beat Carlos Adames in the amateurs. And the dude got a bronze medal. Made him look like a bum. Well, everybody thought he was a bum. So yeah, the amateurs matter though. That dude, what's his name? Julio Cesar Martinez. He beat Isaac Cruz in the amateurs. I think he fight at what, flyweight or something. But yeah, the sport of boxing, man, the amateurs, people don't understand. It's just like the NBA. If the quality goes down at the high school level, college level, it's gonna go down in the pros. We already have a lot of guys who don't want to jab, scared to jab. We have guys losing to the jab. Like boxing is getting simple now. Guys are losing the jabs. It's just that simple. Tyson Fury lost to a jab. Couldn't do nothing about it. It's just that simple. I don't know if people realize that, but boxing is getting simple now. Guys ain't really perfecting their craft. That's why Usyk went around the world. He fought everybody, got that experience, went to the pros, and then he went to basically Joshua and Tyson Fury. He dominated because Tyson Fury, no matter what people say, Tyson Fury and Joshua haven't been going around the world trying to fight everybody. The one time Joshua came to America, he lost to Andrew Ruiz. Haven't been back since. It's not easy to go around the world trying to fight everybody. Yeah, he has a jab. He has a jab. He doesn't use it. He has a jab. I think he used it about 1 or 2 rounds against Rolly, but he has a jab. Yeah, he has a jab. He don't use it as much. Yeah. Like people don't talk about Canelo using his jab the last fight he was in. Canelo used his jab a lot against Munguia. He would have lost that fight if he went to jab against Munguia. He couldn't throw a whole bunch of hooks against Munguia, so he started using the jab. That's one of the first times Canelo used the jab that much. People don't realize that. And I thought guys were super Canelo fans out here. I was definitely right about that. They're not. Because Canelo, he used that jab the whole fight. I was like, they don't even notice Canelo. He just using the jab. Yeah, I was impressed by that. That's the only reason I don't give him a hard time. I'm like, okay, he's still trying to work on some stuff. He's still trying different things. But yeah, Pitbull, he got somewhat of a jab. Just doesn't use it. He likes to go in there and brawl. You know, a lot of those guys, man, they like to go throw hooks to the body. They don't like the jab as much. Just the instincts kick in. But people gonna realize soon, man, this boxing thing is getting serious. There's a lot of politics going on. And this is one of them. Can't trust boxing no more, especially in the Olympics. We already had guys like Roy Jones getting robbed and different things like that over the years. Now we have girls that can't even finish fights. One girl quit the fight, saying the guy punched too hard. I don't even know if she knew she was fighting the guy before the fight started. You know, man, at certain levels, everybody ain't checking somebody's name and the brackets and everything in a tournament. Everybody not looking at brackets every 5 minutes. But somebody knew. A lot of people knew about this. Integrity of the sport is just gone. Yeah, it would. It would. But Lomachenko, he ain't trying to go to 130. 130. He ain't trying to go back to 130. It's better for boxing than Lomachenko be at 135. Just better fights. If he, that's why I give Lomachenko somewhat of his credit. You know what I'm saying? Because he actually fights at 135. He could have been like, I'll just go back to 130. Because every fan out here in the world giving him excuses of why he's too small for 135. These dudes don't want to see nobody fight the best. So I give Lomachenko credit that he actually stays at 135 when everybody else want him to duck and hide and run to 130. That's why they ain't complaining about him not fighting nobody at 135 right now, because they want him to be at 130 anyways. But Valdez, I think he may be too small for 130, 35. I think 30 is the perfect weight class for him. Even Navarrete just fought at 135, so he might be bad for 135. It might be 130 he needs to stay at. But at 135, I don't know if that'll be the same type of fight. But it would be a good fight. Oscar Valdez, he looked good in his last fight. Yeah, Liam Wilson, he was a beast. That was the same Liam Wilson that put down Navarrete not too long ago. So I think that would be a very good fight at 135, though, now that I think about it. Oscar Valdez did look good in the last fight. But I think it would have happened, though, if Lomachenko stayed at 130. But I'm kind of glad he didn't stay, though. I don't think an Oscar Valdez fight was worth just missing out on these other fights. Because people still want to see him fight Tank Davis, even though it's not happening right now. Yeah, that's how that that's how that Blair Cobb fight was. I think Blair Cobb jabbing a lot. The fight was a while ago, but right hands, left hooks. That's funny. Yeah, AB stay with them left hooks and them right hands. Yeah, you're right about that though. That's how that Blair Cobb fight was. They was throwing those the whole fight. That was insane. Yeah, I want to see a rematch in that fight. AB got to run it back, man. Dude knocking tooth out. You got to run it back. I don't know about anything else, but somebody knock your tooth out, you got to run it back, man. That's the only rematch anybody should be asking for. That guy knocked your tooth out? Nah. You got to run that back. But yeah, man, I want to see if this is why I'm telling y'all, boxing is built off of the back of America. If America wasn't in boxing right now, we wouldn't have no boxing. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. You listen to anybody from any country, hey, what boxer you think you can beat? It's most likely gonna be an American guy they're gonna call out or say they better than. Then when most of the complaining goes on, when we actually need energy to go towards people trying to destroy boxing, they don't go towards that. They'll be like, oh, we more worried about Devin Haney or somebody from America, Wilder or one of those guys. If we can't tear one of those guys down, we're not gonna try to help build boxing up. If Claressa Shields ain't talking about Amanda Serrano who would get destroyed by one of these transgenders, While everybody sitting around here talking about Claressa Shields always trying to fight a man and stuff, Amanda Serrano would get destroyed by one of these transgenders. So y'all better speak up for her. She would get destroyed by one of these transgenders. People talking about she might be the GOAT. She would get destroyed. Destroyed. She'll be like a paintball sprayed on the wall. She will get destroyed. So the conversation of somebody being a GOAT or not, that's not even a conversation. Who you gonna stand to fight one of these transgenders first? Amanda Serrano or Claressa Shields? In discussion. That's your answer. She would get destroyed. So people who's fans of hers that were jumping in my comments all these weeks, Amanda Serrano the GOAT. She the GOAT. Send her in there with one of those transgenders. See how much she the GOAT. Because they put those type of fighters in the sport because for her. They want her to fight those type of people too. So if she was in the Olympics right now, she'll be fighting one of those people. And people want to argue about if she's the GOAT or not. Come on, man. Quit trying to push these narratives in boxing. Why do we have a group of people who want to push narratives? That's why I'm really not really fans of certain countries no more, like I was before. Starting to lose respect for certain countries because as soon as somebody loses, like Matias, everybody want to get quiet. Then the same people, same Matias fans run over here and say, man, Serrano the GOAT. She the GOAT. She the GOAT. She need Jake Paul to headline her fights, but she the GOAT. Come on, man. Let's stop these narratives that's going on in boxing, please. It's getting tired. And they only do it to just bring down fighters who are trying to help grow the sport. And that's real talk. Let's see. Now, is Amanda Serrano going to speak out against these transgenders that's in boxing? Or is she cool with it? That should be the next question anybody asks. I want to see her put out a statement in the next 24 hours. If I don't see Amanda Serrano say nothing about this in the next 24 hours, I know where she stands. If her fans don't say nothing about this in the next 24 hours, I know where they stand. If Mexican fans and Ryan Garcia fans who had the energy to try to talk about Devin Haney for 3 months every day, like they ain't got no family to take care of, I want to hear from them. Because a Mexican fighter had to fight a transgender, and for some reason, the best boxing fans in the world, the most supportive boxing fans in the world, just let one of their female fighters. You just let your sister get destroyed by a brother out here in the ring, and we don't got no Mexican fans to speak up about this. But they'll sit up here and tell you how Devin Haney got a broken jaw. But when a Mexican female fighter goes in there and fights a transgender, nobody says anything. So basically what that lets me know is the support they have for boxing is built off of hate. So if they can't hate anybody or be negative or talk about how bad somebody is, they're not going to comment on anything. So if I don't see any Mexican fans sit up here and use all that energy they have to support their Mexican sister who just had to go out there and fight a transgender, that lets me know where y'all stand. That y'all ain't real boxing fans. I've already seen half of y'all throw Canelo under the Eastside Cruz. But when somebody say, oh, I feel like Tank better than the face of boxing right now, people throw a fit. When really Claressa Shields doing more than all these dudes doing. I'm not finna argue over no men who can't do more than what Claressa Shields doing in female boxing. I don't think I ever said that before, but I'm saying it now. If you're a man and you can't do what Claressa Shields is doing in boxing, why would I sit up here and spend any of my time trying to defend that? I don't care who's on the pound for pound or face of boxing, anything. They got to have transgenders come in here to try to compete with her. Why would I be worried about what these guys are doing? They can't even put a fight together. Nobody asked Claressa Shields to go up the heavyweight. She did it anyways. Don't have to ask her to do anything. These other guys got people in their pockets and, oh man, I can't make this fight right now because I don't like that promoter. Man, come on, man, grow up. Like what? Who's the females and who are the males? So these days, the males in boxing have the mindset of a female. They won't fight somebody because they don't like somebody else and all this other, girly stuff that goes on. I guess that's why they're bringing in transgenders, because the men ain't getting it done. I can't fight these guys because of that and this reason and all this stuff. You don't hear none of these females saying none of this. In a minute, I'm telling you, I said this 10 years ago, and this is not a basketball channel. And I can get my friend who's from Iowa, who's a female, tell y'all right now. 10 years ago, I said the NBA is going to be in trouble with the WNBA. I said, watch. I said WNBA going to get better than the NBA in a minute. Watch. I kept seeing it in the March Madness every year. I'm like, these female games are better than these male games. I don't care what last name is on the back of these jerseys. The girl games are better. Then Caitlin Clark shows up. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon. I was watching Caitlin Clark 4 or 5 years ago when she was in high school. A lot of these guys just jumped on the bandwagon. And you see, and look what goes on. If Claressa Shields was like Caitlin Clark, she'll be the biggest thing walking around right now. All I've been hearing all my life is, I want to see a boxer get into MMA. I want to see a boxer get into MMA. Every man walking this earth been begging another man to jump into MMA from boxing. A female does it at a high level, no respect. But we want to show respect to Ronda Rousey. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was already in MMA before Ronda Rousey showed up. She wasn't good to me. I already knew she was trash. Nobody ever said Ronda Rousey don't go against good competition. Nobody ever questioned the talent in MMA. They had like female fighters in the UFC are the best fighters on earth, because when you're brainwashed, your mind makes you think that way. Then as soon as Ronda Rousey loses to an average boxer, now everybody wants to start telling the truth. Oh, well, she wasn't that good. And okay. But we going to act like y'all ain't said she was better than Floyd Mayweather, though. Like the fact that she has a job right now and she's not getting trolled every day about why she said that she could beat Floyd Mayweather, but I'm still hearing about Claressa Shields talking about she would possibly fight a Keith Thurman. Come on, man. Just keep it on both sides. I don't know if people know it, but history repeats itself and people expose themselves. So you got a different answer than you had when Ronda Rousey said something about Floyd Mayweather. But when Claressa Shields said something about Keith Thurman, oh, it's a big deal. Oh, okay. What about these transgenders jumping in boxing now? Who you think that's for? You think that's for Ronda Rousey? I haven't seen one transgender jump in the ring with Ronda Rousey or the cage when she was in UFC or MMA. So who you think these transgenders for? Ronda Rousey? Oh, okay. Charles Conwell or Xander Zayas? That's a hard choice. Right now, I'll take Charles by decision. Split decision, Charles. Split decision. I ain't like how Xander Zayas broke his last opponent down. I think he thought too much in the last fight. He was thinking too much. So I definitely have to go with Charles on this one. I've been watching Charles. He's been bouncing back from the psychologically from that Patrick Day fight. So I think he all the way back. Took some time bouncing back. I think he's good now. Yeah, they definitely should. But like I said earlier, Lisa, a lot of these women, they vote for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they vote for women's rights. This is women's rights. They have pushed this into women's rights. So no matter how I feel about it, most women still gonna wake up tomorrow and vote for this. They're gonna vote for men to be able to be in Olympics. They have made this normal now. The vote supersedes all this. And I'm not a political channel. I'm just being real. What I said, angry Mexican, was I lying? Disgusting, ain't it? Disgusting. You can tell them some hard shots, man. Those are some hard shots. And bro, the guy he's not, well, not a guy. Well, he is a guy. The guy, he's not big, man. It's a skinny dude. And he's hitting these women 5 shots. And they can't take it. They're walking off, quitting in the middle of a fight. They've been preparing for 4 years? Nah. I don't even know if the girl knew that was a guy, to be honest with you. The way she was fighting the person, I don't think she knew that was a guy. She turned around and just walked off like, whoa, and the ref just stopped it. Come on, man. That girl could have lost her life in the ring. These people are disgusting what they do in the Olympics. I'm telling you. That's why the Olympics is technically canceled for 2028 right now. And they don't need to save it. This is bad. This is actually embarrassing. And the countries that trot these transgenders out there, you're embarrassing the women in your country too. Because now you're replacing the woman for a transgender, and you saying those are the only females that we can actually get in the ring is these transgender guys. The women we have training for boxing, they're not good enough. And that's messing up the integrity of the sport for your country too. Taiwan and Algeria, embarrassing. And those are 2 places people don't talk about going to. Yeah, facts. Real talk. That's real. Oh yeah. Transformers. My bad. Appreciate that, cuz. Yeah, I forgot Transformers. But yeah, it's getting out of hand, man. It really is. But the people at the top, man, they got so much time and money. This is a joke to them. You know what I'm saying? This is a joke. Somebody end up passing away, they just gonna reach into their piggy bank, donate $1 million or something, keep it pushing. But yeah, this is a bad situation right here. This is the stuff we need to be people need to be speaking on, man. Like while people are arguing every day about, oh, well, I'm gonna vote for this person, I'm gonna vote for that person. Well, guess what? You're voting for this. Whoever you voting for, whoever you winning, whoever you arguing about, they okay with this. I don't care what side you're talking about. They okay with this. So if you have a daughter, they're gonna have your daughter competing with men now, with fake men. Now it's gonna get to a point now where women can't get a job because they're gonna have a fake man in there to get a job. I've already seen that. That's becoming a real issue. If you don't have hairy legs and wear a dress, some jobs you can't even get now. So it's becoming bad out here. A lot of people saying it's just boxing. Okay. They got this on a worldwide scale now. Yep, even the models. Exactly. And now we're starting to find, man, it's getting wild out here. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know. After this, they might not have any women come back to Olympic boxing. If it does keep going on, they won't have any women coming the next 4 years. This won't happen anymore. I don't know who's funding this or making this okay, but it's becoming bad. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, the WNBA is basically like the NBA right now. I'm not gonna cap to you. I wouldn't even say I couldn't compare that to WNBA. Shoot. The NBA, they're running up and down the court doing layups like everybody else. These dudes doing layup drills in the NBA now. That's what boxing becoming right now because they turning the amateur stuff. This is like AAU basketball now. They turn this into a joke. This is where guys used to become royalty. This is how we found out who Muhammad Ali was, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Claressa Shields, Oscar De La Hoya. Now we running around and we trying to make a buck. That's why a lot of these guys don't even throw jabs now. Because if you see in the amateurs, they don't really give you points for throwing jabs. The fundamentals is being taken away. You get punished now for throwing jabs. You throw a jab in the fight, you're going to lose. What is boxing becoming? Yeah, it'll be soon over. It's becoming a joke now, which is bad because look how long. Look at all these women who fought to become basically taken serious in sports. Whether it's soccer, basketball. I seen recently they have women's football now. I know people might think that a joke, but they out there playing hard for real. Really hitting. But yeah, a lot of these women, bro, trust me. I seen women wrestling in high school when I was growing up. Man, it's gonna be crazy. If that happens, man. If that happens, yeah, but people don't understand how serious that is, though. I hope the women understand how serious that is in the future because this is like canceling out stuff for your daughters when it comes to this boxing and everything else. Because you already see they're not trying to give Claressa Shields any kind of credit when it comes to sports. I was asking that same question the other day, like, bro, why she's not getting the credit she deserves? And I see why. They already got her replacement. They're like, we'll never have another Claressa Shields come in here. If Claressa Shields would have been in this Olympics, she'll be fighting against a transgender right now. And that was the plan. I'm not trying to make it about her, but that's the plan. That's what they want to happen. That's what they want to happen. They don't want that to happen ever again. 2 gold medals? Nah. Can't let that happen no more. Yeah, Claressa Shields, if they let this continue, she'll be the last female to get 2 gold medals, even 1 gold medal. Like Angry Mexican said, those punches those girls got hit with in the video, it's disgusting, man. It's not regular punches. I couldn't watch something like that. Sit back and actually watch it? Nah. Not finna watch no man beat up on no female. That's disgusting. And the way he was punching her, it was bad. And I'm gonna say another thing too. If these guys out here who always talking about women's rights on their Twitters and their YouTubes and they try to make money off of it, we have women actually getting punched in the face on camera in a tournament, and no man is gonna say anything. And people always talking about, man, there ain't no real men out here. I'm a real man. I can't just stand there and watch a get beat up. Bro, I'm telling y'all the truth. These guys don't care about no females getting punched in the face these days. The silence proves that right now. We should have every man who has a YouTube should be talking about this right now. And the first thing these dudes do, they give a speech. Oh, I got daughters, man. I got a sister, man. I got a mom. I can't just let that happen. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the time, these guys just say that trying to get some girl they like to like them, like they just gonna sit up there and save them. To be honest, these guys, they're just gonna sit back and watch. I can't believe they letting transgenders just punch these women in the face. These girls trained for 4 years and quit. bro, that can make somebody suicidal. That's insane. And for people to play like that with these women's lives like that, don't even know if they knew they was gonna fight a transgender and a transformer in the Olympics. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's scary when you think about it. It's scary. That's scary. A lot of these girls are around the same size Amanda Serrano is. They gonna have her in there. Man, come on, man. And you know the Mexican girl, she went in there to make it seem like she quit and she's coming from Mexico to fight. So that's gonna make all the other girls make her seem like, oh man, she went out there and quit. She weak. Nah, she was fighting somebody who was overqualified, unqualified. Yeah, they gonna tear down the integrity of the sport, man. I wasn't gonna try to make a big deal on it, but I just wanted to report on it because it is a big deal. To be honest with you, it is a big deal. Since I've been growing up in my timeline, women's sports was not on TV like that growing up. I know people always say different things, but women boxing hasn't been on TV that long. So a lot of these women who really haven't made $1 million boxing like all these other women have, like a lot of them just started making $1 million. So now you're basically cutting into what they built to try to prop somebody else up. Nah, that's not the move. That's definitely not it. That's definitely not it. But I see what it is now, though. I see what it is now. I can't believe people actually knew about this and just let them qualify, go through, pass the test. Like these doctors actually took that serious. That's why science is basically opinionated, because we have doctors that passed all this through. Like, yeah, this is the right thing. Science is an opinion. I know it's a subject in school and everything, but the way these doctors are so gender fluid these days, science is an opinion. It's not a fact. At this point, it can't be proven with the way they're doing things. If science was that good at this point, guys wouldn't be losing their life in the ring. We got doctors sitting ringside every time somebody pass away in the ring. So I know, and people blame the referee. Yeah, it's crazy. Super short. And the way they got the camera, I'm gonna tell you a trick too. The way they got the camera, it makes it seem like they're around the same height because the camera's so far away, and they got it tilted down a little bit, so they kind of look like they're at the same height when really they're different heights altogether. This is crazy. I'm glad none of these girls. I'm glad these girls actually didn't try to fight the whole fight. I'm glad they felt those 4 or 5 punches and said, you know what, not gonna do it. Yeah, if I was them, I would quit. All the girls should quit right now in the Olympics and walk off and let them make money with these two other transgenders fighting each other. That's crazy. I can't believe they went through with this. I knew about it happening. I said something about it recently. I reported about it, but I didn't. I forgot about this. The Olympics kind of caught me off guard altogether. You know, we don't really watch the Olympics like we used to. You know, 4, 5, 8, 10 years ago, we was watching the Olympics heavy over here in the United States, but that was before we learned that every time we go somewhere, we get robbed, and it's always, I don't know. They got to find some different ways to change things around, man. They're gonna lose the core boxing fans because the casual fans are not really tuning in on boxing the way that these people think. They're not gonna sit up here and buy apps. That's why right now they got to put UFC and all the other stuff on one app with top ranked boxing, because a lot of people not tuning in that much. A lot of people are not tuning in to boxing as much as people think. It's only a couple of fights that people want to see, and it usually has to have an American in there. You know what I'm saying? So they're not really diversifying everything from what I'm seeing. I know the Usyk and Fury fight was a blast according to what the ratings said, but I mean, with the numbers these guys did, nobody's saying the face of boxing, so I can't confirm any of those numbers. But this is bad though. If boxing doesn't get together soon, they're gonna lose the sport. It can't last 10 years like this. Definitely can't. Unless these guys out here are ready to watch transgenders fight on women all day. If you're ready to watch that, then obviously the sport going in a whole another direction. It's going a whole another direction. They better fix it soon, man. I'm telling you. Because right now we're telling everybody who's a woman, do not get into boxing. Basically, if you're a woman, you better not get into boxing right now. And they got men in here fighting. It's crazy. Claressa Shields say, man, I'll fight a guy. They're like, oh man, she's tripping. The Olympics are like, I'm gonna make you fight a guy. And everybody's like silent. Which is crazy. That's just one example of them using. It's crazy that more energy goes into kind of whatever Claressa Shields says. If she says she's the GOAT, well, let's try to go against that. Well, how about let's go against this whole narrative as far as all these girls, like all these girls didn't ask to fight no man. That's a situation that everybody don't realize. All these girls didn't ask for this. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Like somebody already got their job stolen behind this. So some girl got her job stolen or her place stolen because somebody else wanted to transition to female boxing. And we have countries out here that actually shouldn't have boxing programs because if they think this is some kind of standard to uphold in your country, it's embarrassing. So the first thing I'm gonna find out is I want to find the most decorated Taiwanese boxer, the most decorated boxer from Taiwan, and the most decorated boxer from Algeria. I want to see what they think about these transgenders from their country taking the place of their women and daughters and sisters. Just as far as the boxing. Algeria most famous boxer. And I want to see what this person feels like. Wow. They're saying that this transgender is one of the most famous boxers in Algeria. Well, that probably makes sense. Oh, so most of these guys are okay. So they got a guy named Mustafa Mauser. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna see what these guys are thinking about with this whole program being started and what direction. This guy's like 60 some years old though. He's probably not even thinking about this. He's probably out living his life. But that's crazy though. The transgender is one of the most famous boxers from Algeria. So yeah, let me see what this guy's talking about. That's not him. Yeah, but that's crazy though. Yeah, I know. I heard Triple G said a lot of these people are starting to basically put the money before the sport. There's a lot of agendas going on. He didn't want to say too much, but Triple G basically was saying like it's over with as far as Olympic boxing. He's trying to save it, but with him being a person who's already been robbed in the sport, I mean in the Olympic boxing, he really knows that yeah, some of these guys are getting paid and a lot of other stuff allegedly. But he's starting to move on from that. Yeah, these boxing commissions are terrible, man. It's like the combat sports is the most easiest sport you can basically have. All you need is some boxing gloves, a ring, and a referee, and some judges. But they make the sport so hard. They try to make all this other stuff available. Then they want to give opportunities to people who don't deserve it. When the people in the sport already don't have enough opportunities, we already don't have big fights going on now. Now you got political stuff being pushed. Like y'all got money for all this political stuff, but when we need money for these fighters and guys lose their life in the ring, nobody's around. I don't hear about any of this stuff being made. So yeah, these commissions are falling apart. They losing the sport of boxing right now. They really are. Because in the pro game, you got a lot of young guys who want to fight, but then you got a lot of older guys that say, "Well, I'm gonna make you wait until I feel like you're ready." So the whole mandatory thing, I started my channel telling everybody it don't matter, but I don't think people understood that. But a lot of these sanctioning bodies and commissions and everything, they don't really matter. They just collect the money and keep it pushing. And if you're a fighter they don't like, they're gonna ice you out. You won't be getting any mandatories. So it's more negative behind the commissions than it is positive. But yeah, you won't be getting any mandatories messing with these people. But it's sad though, because what are we really doing? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it an agenda? Because I watch these female basketball players over the years more than the average person. But to be honest with you, like when the media gets involved, it's all political. It's really all political at this point. Sports have way too many politics in it. And most of the people who are doing all the politicking, they're not athletes. They're not people who ever played sports. Um, it's just too much politics in boxing. Sports overall, football as well. Um, just everything, just everything. Too many politics. But one thing I'm starting to realize is people don't care about the sport, man. People care more about wanting to destroy an athlete or just whatever they are against at that time. That's more important than actually growing the sport. The sport of boxing right now is worse off than it was 10 years ago. Everything's on an app. You got to beg to fight the best to fight each other. Um, Not really getting any fights you was actually asking for. Then most of the fights you are getting, they're from people you don't like or that you want to see lose. So it's like, then most of the fans that they want to see a person win, they're not making the fights. So you can't actually see them win. So right now, fights are basically built off of fantasy fights. I mean, boxing is built off of fantasy fights and just basically seeing a certain person lose. But as far as seeing people win and being at a disadvantage, when these females get their spot taken away, it's not the same energy. It's not the same energy. I would say Claressa Shields is what they wanted Ronda Rousey to be. They thought Ronda Rousey was gonna be at one point she was the best female athlete of all time. She took a loss to an average boxer, and they actually think boxing is not a good sport. They don't think female boxing is hard already. We've seen female boxers go to MMA and beat someone like Ronda Rousey, but they had trouble in boxing. It just shows how hard the sport of boxing is. Everybody just not getting the same opportunities. But if this keeps going on like this, people gonna lose the sport of boxing. And the only reason why the people that run boxing or the people who's allowing these transgenders to get into boxing, the only reason they're able to do this because people are only focused on one fighter. If the fighter's not in the top 10, they don't care. If they're an amateur, they don't care. In the Olympics, they don't really care until you actually get a medal. If you don't get a medal, they really won't ever know who you are. So if this was 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't even hear about this transgender situation because we would have had just newspapers and people weren't really reporting on the internet like this. So 10 years ago, they would let this slide. It's been happening a long time. But then when you have people actually say, man, well, are they going to allow men to actually play against women? And then usually some people, their mind works a certain way like that because I've heard men bring up certain situations like, what if they had a man in the NBA? Like, so it's a percentage of people that's okay with that. As long as you understand that at first, then you'll understand why a lot of people are quiet about it. It's a percentage of people that always wanted to see a man fight a woman in the ring or in the NBA or football. So yeah, I don't know the clear reason over everything, but I know the timing of this is pretty bad. Yeah, if I was Claressa Shields, I would feel like everything I helped build in the sport of boxing has basically been destroyed in 5 seconds. Well, not destroyed, but people trying to destroy it. And other female boxers too: Savannah Marshall, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, all of them. Uh, Desiree Frenchon Cruz. They might not even tell girls that hey, this guy might be a transgender. Obviously, we know this happened in pro boxing before, but I don't know if these fights been sanctioned or anything like that. But yeah, this is getting insane. Then MMA is going to be next. I don't even know where this idea even came from. I don't know who put the money behind this. The fact that Algeria even went in their pockets. People act like some of these countries are third world and everything else, but they're going into their pockets funding this type of stuff and sending these athletes across the world. So we already know what they're about. I'm surprised though. I really am surprised. I really am surprised. I was gonna talk about this a couple of days ago, but man, to have this going on now in boxing. But when serious things happen in boxing, it goes to show you that a lot of these people don't really care about boxing like that. This is just something to just argue about. They don't really care about the sport of boxing. We already see women fighting guys in high school. This is going on in high school now. I don't know, man. It's getting out of hand. They better figure something out soon, or else it's gonna end up bad. I don't want to see one of these females lose their life trying to be the best, and these guys trying to cut corners, have too much testosterone in their body. They don't look like they've taken any kind of pills to even help the situation out. So no, this not the way to go. These are for people should be fighting for any kind of female that's not really into boxing yet that wants to get into boxing. It's a lot of girls who's 10, 11, 12 years old who watch Amanda Serrano, Claressa Shields, and all these other girls box, Katie Taylor, and they want to get into boxing. But you can't because these guys can't qualify for women boxing. So yeah, let me just pass this off. Like even when I seen the pictures, I'm like, these guys trying to do their hair a certain way so they can blend in. Like, no, this ain't it. This is more than propaganda. This is actually happening. Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely come on live about something else later on. I want to address this because uh, I mean, if you support any kind of female walking around, you should definitely want to try to address this and hold somebody accountable or speak on it at least. You know, this is crazy. I don't like it. I definitely don't like it. But a lot of people said they're not watching the Olympics, so I was surprised to hear that. Not really, because most people just watch the World Cup now, if we're gonna be honest. And they watch basketball, like US basketball, gymnastics. Other than that, track and field. The other sports don't really get attention like that. That's why I don't know why they have all these sports on other channels. But now I see why you got to go digging for the boxing matches. They don't really show those out in the open like they do these other sports because they're trying to hide these transgenders on the back of these apps, so people don't really say nothing about it. That's sad, man. ESPN should be reporting on this. Are they saying anything? Probably not. They're trying to promote Amanda. So they promoting Simone Biles while these girls getting their face punched in. Oh, they said boxer. Oh, here it goes. You gotta go to the Olympic page to find it. Boxer who faced gender question wins when rival quits fight. That's the worst headline I ever seen in my life. Yeah, I know. It was a boxing. Every time at least I'm convinced that these people who do this, they're not really boxing people. They're just like money guys trying to like put apps together and like little events. I don't think a lot of these people like boxing. I don't know if they like sports, period, because sports wasn't really this hard growing up. Now it's becoming chemistry. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. That is terrible. If they do that, people will not be supported. Yeah, I'm not watching any Olympics. I haven't been watching any of it before. I've been watching just like highlights and stuff. But nah, I can't watch that stuff. I seen the Olympics going down years ago. I can't believe they did this. Then they had him go against a female from Mexico, of all places. We gonna make this Mexican female quit. Come on, man. I don't know. Maybe I look at things differently. Well, I realize that I do look at things differently. A very bad look. I'm like, whoa, you just sticking her in the ring with her? That's crazy. Yeah, that was bad. I don't know if you seen the video, but you do not want to watch something like that. It was only like 5 punches, but still. And they put it up as a highlight. Yeah, I know. I know they probably didn't even know that that was a transgender. They probably didn't even know. They probably in the crowd like, what is she doing? Then the other girl, I don't know if she fought because I think the Mexican girl was in red. So the girl that was in the blue, she must have fought the guy from Taiwan, and she was crying. I seen her talking. I didn't really click on the video yet, but she was talking about how the punches was just too hard. So, oh, here she goes right here. She says, I felt the severe pain in my nose. And with the maturity of a boxer, I said enough because I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I couldn't finish the fight, the match. That's crazy, man. I've been watching boxing a long time. I haven't seen too many girls just sit up and quit. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen too many females just say, "Hey, man, I quit." That tear down there, that kills the integrity of the sport right there. 25 years old. They talking about Cliff is a. They saying the boxer from. So these transgenders are 25 years old. Come on, man. You got a fully mature man running out there fighting women who's younger than them. Then this dude got some braids in his head trying to pass off as a girl. Come on, man. Yeah, they trying to play. Now they playing games. They giving these guys girly hairstyles, trying to pass them off as girls. And these dudes ain't never had no braids or nothing in their head the whole time they've been boxing. Now you got pictures of them with braids. That's insane. Yeah, they got to. They got to walk out. If they don't walk out, it's gonna continue to happen. If these girls don't go out there and walk out together right now, it's not gonna end. They do it right now, they'll save the whole sport right now. I don't know if all of them knew because a lot of these people don't speak the same language. Obviously, I know they knew that. That's crazy because these transgenders had to fight girls to get into the Olympic tournament. So this been going on. This is why boxing. This is why YouTuber. This is why you gotta always support YouTubers on boxing. I ain't talking about me. I'm just talking about anybody, because even though these guys be wrong about a lot of stuff, they at least trying. See, ESPN, they knew about all. They're a $1 billion company allegedly. $1 trillion company, $1 billion company. They knew about all this stuff a long time ago. They just reporting on this now. This is why boxing on YouTube is the most important thing right now for boxing, because these other guys that do Twitter pages and everybody arguing on Twitter every day about certain things, it don't save boxing. It don't really help boxing. A lot of stuff has been changed lately in boxing because of what's talked about on YouTube, but people don't understand that. But in this situation, it's not gonna probably help. It's too political now. You got other countries involved. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How are you gonna prepare that? Like, how these girls, the way they're fighting, it seems like these girls don't know it's a man. Because before they put the headgear on and everything, the dude's skinny and he has braids in his hair. I don't know if he's trying to pass off some makeup or whatever, but he's trying to look like a girl in this video. I mean, this picture. think he has eyebrows, the eyeliner on. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he's trying to look like a girl though. So obviously he knows he's wrong. Like, bro, why are you trying to look like a girl? You just had pictures recently where you just had a regular haircut. Now you get to the Olympics and you want to have braids in your head. And we all know that boxers from Algeria and Africa and Europe, these guys ain't walking around with braids in their head in a boxing match. So this is one of few that actually wear braids to the Olympics. Matter of fact, Keyshawn Davis and Andy Cruz have long hair right now, braids and everything. And they didn't have their braids in during the Olympics. So this guy's trying to pass off as a girl, man. I'm telling you, it's a get rich quick scheme. I can find any guy on the street and say, hey man, you can get in this boxing. We can get rich. You want to fight these girls? Get a gold medal. Everybody in on it. Yeah, they should. They should. The fact that they're talking about it today, I think the fights come back on Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when the female fights start. I think they're having the female fights now, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot how the schedule goes. But yeah, everybody should walk out immediately. Then we had another person fail a drug test. They had a see, this is what's crazy. They had a Nigerian a boxer from Nigeria. She failed a drug test. They talking about it's a masculine agent for something. But these people are actually males in female boxing, but we're not going to ban them and kick them out of the Olympics. That's backwards. And I thought PEDs don't matter. And Usyk said something about it recently. So Usyk says that Usyk calls for change. I'm going to have to do a video on that. So Usyk said he says amateur boxing is terrible right now. I agree with him on that. So Usyk says amateur boxing is rotten at the elite level and needs to change. Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's sad, man. They need Turkey out of the sheet to fix everything in boxing. I think it's time to get rid of these promoters and these sanctioning bodies. Yeah, let me go ahead and put this up here. This is what Usyk says. And I agree with him. He says boxing is rotten at the elite level and it's called for a change. So that's him and Triple G saying that Olympic boxing and amateur boxing is terrible. Oh, he said at an international level. Wow, these guys ain't quoting him right. Man, ESPN is disgusting. They're not even quoting him right. He says boxing is rotten at the international level. So worldwide, he's saying boxing is terrible right now. Thank you, Usyk, for speaking up. Because he actually cares about boxing. There's one guy going for his third gold medal. It's time for him to turn pro, man. He about to be 35 years old. Yeah, it's time to turn pro, man. A lot of these Cuban guys, too, they almost 30 years old turning pro. I know it's hard for a lot of them to leave the country and try to fight, but yeah, the refs and everybody should walk out, man. Just like Lisa said. The way boxing's going right now, it's too much saving we got to do right now. It's too much going wrong. There's too many people looking away. They wonder why fights aren't happening. It's because the system already knows what type of fights you want. They know what to do, and they're just going to play around with these people. They're just gonna play around until they get all the money they need. Then they'll turn it over to Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's why he got to save boxing now. You got the wrong people involved with boxing. And then also, I'm gonna tell you too, a lot of people realizing that boxing, they've ran boxing into the ground so much, it's not making the money it used to make. So it's becoming a point now where they're lowering their integrity of the sport so bad that soon people aren't really going to pay for pay-per-views or anything in a minute. In the next 5 years, you might not have anybody pay for a pay-per-view, not one person. So this is why they have people like Turkey Al-Sheikh involved, because they like, well, I can't get what I want for the fight, but if I involve Turkey Al-Sheikh, I'll be able to get what I want from the fight through him. So let me go ahead and just get the cash from him instead of just trying to put it together and hope that I make 50 million or 80 million from the fight or 100 million. That's what's really going on. So boxing is not supposed to be this hard. It's supposed to be an easy sport where you get two guys who can fight really well, make the fight happen, and move on to the next fight. But now everything needs to be built up, and once the fight happens, it's not that good. People don't feel like waiting on the next one to get built up, so kind of lose interest. And you're losing the fans that actually want to see good boxing every weekend. For the fans that grew up watching boxing every weekend and every week, now they're catering to the fans that only watch boxing once or twice a year for a big payday. So not only is the fighters going towards the big paydays, promoters are too. That's why a lot of people right now are saying, man, we having so many fights right now with Turkey Al-Sheikh. Like, bro, we was having this many fights when I was a kid. It's just that these guys that y'all grew up with, these promoters, they've been doing such a bad job that if you get 2 or 3 big fights, these guys are like overly excited, which I don't understand. Like even when Canelo fought Mayweather, that was a big fight, but it wasn't like how we treated Pacquiao versus Mayweather or something like that. It was just a regular fight to me what Floyd was gonna have. And now the standard is super low. Now if you look back, Canelo lost every round in that fight, but they'll sit around and pass that fight around like, man, I want to get some views off of this. You got Golden Boy, they'll post it, Mayweather Promotions or PBC, and just all kind of stuff, man. Let's put the fight on the zone since Canelo's over here now. It's a lot of that stuff be going on. Yeah, it's only a few fighters making cash right now in boxing. Everybody else, they need Turkey Al-Sheikh or a big fight. That's not a good place to have boxing right now. We have too many apps and technology to where guys don't feel like they're making enough money. And my thing is, if Ngannou made $20 million and these other guys are fighting over $6 million, that goes to show that we ain't getting the paydays we thought we were in boxing for certain people. But I've known this for a while. It's only a few guys getting actually paid in boxing. Everybody's not a pay-per-view star. Yeah, guys have countries now, but everybody doesn't have money like that either. They'll say, well, yeah, Lomachenko has Ukraine. Who said that Ukraine has a whole bunch of rich people over there? If Ukraine had a whole bunch of rich people over there, we won't be sending money over there. But no, they can't buy pay-per-views in Ukraine either. That's why when people say, oh, this guy has a country behind him, it doesn't work like that, like how it used to be. but they'll find out soon. I'm gonna come back on live in like probably an hour. I'm gonna do another live. I just wanted to cover this topic because a lot of people don't speak up for female boxing anyways. So I just wanted to make this topic very important topic be heard today because I promise you, if a girl would have lost her life in the ring, these channels that don't even cover boxing, they would have posted this girl getting destroyed. They would have said, "Oh my God, I can't believe a girl lost her life in the ring." They would have made a live about it. So I like to speak on things before somebody actually the worst actually happens. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like female fighters actually get support like they should. They actually have some of the best fights right now. Even though I haven't been covering it that much, I know channels that do cover it a lot more. They do a great job. But when you see what's going on in the male sports, and then now when you add on this type of stuff, it's just I don't know. You can either do two things. You can either just be quiet like everybody else and just let it happen, or basically speak up. Because I don't think nobody else is gonna say anything about it. It's too political. But that's all I got, man. Like and subscribe. Appreciate everybody for coming through. I'll be on probably like an hour or two with a new topic.